What is up, guys? Welcome back to YouTube Relic, and today we are doing another ranking for ranking month, even though we're in April. Today we are doing one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time, and actually, their lead singer, guitarist, drummer, whatever you want to call him, Dave Grohl, is my third favorite musician of all time. Yeah, we're doing the Foo Fighters today. Better than Nirvana. Nirvana might have been better if they, were around as long as the Foo Fighters are. But yeah, the Foo Fighters are just such a great band. I don't think they've put out a single bad album in their discography. I think they're all great. We're also going to be including this one, not the Saint Cecilia EP, but we're going to be including the Dee Gees and Dream Widow from Studio 666, their movie. Yeah, I love Foo Fighters. I think my number one might have it running for my top 10 favorite albums of all time. But yeah, let's get into this ranking after the intro.
Here you go.
Guys, so that was the intro. As I said, they are definitely one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time. But let's get into my last pick. I don't know what number this is. I think it's, hold up here. We got, okay, I think 13 albums. I'm not sure. I think it's something like that. But yeah, my last spot, I have the Dee Gees thing. You know, it has their Bee Gees covers with, I believe, Taylor on vocals. Like, Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace to you. I mean, he was an amazing drummer, but I think my favorite contribution of him, of course, how awesome he was with Dave, but his backing vocals and falsettos were honestly the most important thing, as Dave can do fine on drums. Just, Taylor was such a great musician and guy. But anyways, so rest in peace to him. But the Dee Gees album, you know, you have some live tracks. My favorite is the Waiting on a War live, and also there are covers. I really like the You Should Be Dancing one. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about it. It comes in at last for me, but it's not like it's bad. It's enjoyable. But coming up next, we have actually my least favorite real Foo Fighters album, and that one would be One by One, released in 2002. So yeah, you might be saying here, like, when you realize it, this is the album where everything kind of went to crap. You know, your first three albums for them were all, like, some of the best of the genre, and then this thing comes out. Very muddy sounding album, and it loses, like, it's muddy sounding, but also the production is too, like, na-na-na-na-na compared to their first three albums. There they are. And the songs on this thing are All My Life, Low, Have It All, Times Like These, Disenchanted Lullaby, Tired of You, Halo, Lonely As You, Overdrive, Burn Away, and Come Back. So yeah, as I said, it's definitely where everything went bad for the Foo Fighters. And it's still not an awful listen, but like the only reason this thing isn't in last place is because of Times Like These. That is my favorite Foo Fighters song. Honestly, maybe just my favorite song of all time. But other than Times Like These, this album is pretty trash. As I said, the production on here, not good. And they were at a bad time during the band. They were going through lots of turmoil. And other than Times Like These, this album really doesn't have much. All My Life, Low, Have It All are good singles. And Comeback is really underrated. I love that acoustic break. Similar to The Teacher, which is actually my second favorite Foo Fighters song. But yeah, Times Like These, saving grace for this album. And Overdrive and Burn Away are maybe the only two Foo Fighters songs that I actually don't like. They're really annoying and honestly suck. But coming in as my third to last album, I have In Your Honor. I don't know when it was released. Okay, 2005. Released in 2005. I had to check my script cards. So yeah, this is a double album. The first half is regular songs. Second half is acoustics. If they put this album into one album with the best of acoustics and the best of the regular songs and mix them up, so not like, say you put it in, I don't know how many songs there are, but say you put it into regular, like, 12-track album, and you would choose 6 from each side, then mix them together. Don't put, like, one half. I don't know why they do that. If you're gonna make a double album, sure, do the acoustics and the regulars, but don't put them on separate discs. Make them flow as good as possible. But this album starts amazing. In Your Honor, amazing hype song. They should open up every concert with that one. No Way Back, good single. The Best of You is a great song as well. I love that one. And Hell is a really short but amazing song. Friend of a Friend and Cold Day in the Sun are great acoustics too. But yeah, I just think if they combine this into one just kind of put the acoustics and the regular songs together instead of separating them like they did, this could be a solid maybe number 5 Foo Fighters album. But there's some very uninteresting material on here, especially all but Friend of a Friend and Cold Day in the Sun on the acoustic material. But it doesn't have some of the worst songs of all time, so that's why it's not where One by One was. But coming in as my 4th to last, we have Dream Widow from Studio 666. I can't say it. From 2022. When you think of this as a Foo Fighters album or a Dream Widow album, don't it's like what? Because Dave Grohl goes ham on here. This is like a heavy metal grindcore, almost like March of the Insane and Becoming are my favorite tracks, but like the opener, I forget what it's called, insanely heavy. And honestly, if you just imagine Dave Grohl singing this when he's singing like one of these days, and then you listen to you're like, what? That's this guy? What? Yeah. It's honestly, I don't know why it exists, but I'm so glad it does, because it's very enjoyable. Like, I don't think they have a bad album. I think One by One would be a bad album if it didn't have times like these on it, but as I said, I just love that song so much. Maybe my favorite song of all time ever. But Dream Widow, surprisingly good. And from Dream Widow here and farther up, all these albums are like 7.5 and farther. These are all great albums. But coming up next, I have Sonic Highways, released in 2014. So this was the album, as you saw from that little screen that I showed. This is a really cool album cover. They recorded 8 different songs in 8 different studios. And there are some great songs on here, released after Wasting Light. So they had to really, really just come in hard. Song from Nothing, great hit. And the transition from Subterranean to I'm a River is amazing. I love those. Like, honestly, the first, I think, 5 songs are all really, really good, especially Something from Nothing, and I really like I'm a River. Subterranean, I don't like that song that much, but the transition is cool, and I think the idea of this is really, really cool, too, which honestly kind of brings it up for me. So it's some good featuring artists. But coming in is our next spot, I have Concrete and Gold. I don't know when this was released. I think 2017, yeah. The tracks on here are T-Shirt, Run, Make It Right, The Sky's a Neighborhood, La Di Da, Dirty Water, Arrows, Happy Ever After, Sunday Rain, The Line of Concrete and Gold. So yeah, Run and The Sky's a Neighborhood are maybe their 2 biggest songs past 2010 that could be possible, and they're both on this record. And this is one of those albums. Once ranking month is over, which I know it's gone past March, but I'll have 2 more bands left for ranking month. This was one of them. The other 2 that I've left are 21 Pilots and Beatles, which probably will be coming in the next 2 weeks. I'm sorry that I was very inactive recently. But yeah, but those 2 songs are great. But this is one of those albums. This is the video I'm going to do once ranking month is officially over, once I've done all the bands. Albums that start off amazing and then lose steam in the second half. And this is one of those. Honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I don't know why I said honestly. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know why I said that. All but the top 3 here on the Foo Fighters ranking, all but the top 3 are front-loaded albums, including One by One, because the 3 singles are good, and then you have times like these for the first 4 songs, and then the rest, except for Come Back, is just bad. But all of these, except for the top 3 on my list, are front-loaded albums, which maybe is why those 3 are the top 3, or maybe they just had something going. I don't know. But let's actually talk about this album. T-Shirt's a really nice intro thing, and it doesn't take that much space up either, and it leads right into Run, which is maybe a top 5 favorite Foo Fighters song of mine. Love the lyrics, and the drum beat is so interesting along with the music video. I think Foo Fighters and Foo Fighters and Korn, I think, are the best bands that make consistent music videos. Foo Fighters have so many iconic, awesome music videos. Yeah, Run's an amazing song. I love how it transitions from T-Shirt. Make It Right's a pretty good song. Sky's the Neighborhood is repetitive, but I love kind of how bluesy it is in the production, and that's really interesting. Dirty Water, Arrows is a really cool song. Yeah, the first 7 songs are almost perfection. Some of their best singles and deep cuts. After that, The Line's a good song. Titled track, Sunday Rain, Happy Ever After don't do crap for me. So, it's an amazing 2/3 of this, and 1/3 of it is just One by One trash, kind of. Still not a bad listen, as I said. Other than the bottom three, all these are 7.5 out of 10 or higher. So like really, really good stuff. Coming up next from 2007, I have Echo Sounds, Patience, and Grace. This is a kind of a comeback album, I'd say, because you have the first three amazing songs. Everyone knows Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins are musicians that both should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hope they get it soon. Again, rest in peace to him. But then One by One comes out. You got some great singles, and then that's it. And then same thing with In Your Honor. Lots of bad, some good. And this album is very consistently good. The Pretender is a great song. Let It Die, Long Road to Ruin, and But Honesty are also great tracks. And I think it's a very consistent listen. A little front-loaded, I'd say, because most of my favorite songs come in the first 5-6 songs. But honestly, it's a good song to be in the back end of that. It's a very consistent listen, and I do like it a lot. It's a good album. And this is, so coming in at number 6. Now, I actually know the numbers now. So at number 6, I have the debut album, Foo Fighters. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't the Foo Fighters album. This is actually the Dave Grohl project. Because he is so talented. I love him so much. He did all the instrumentation, almost everything on here. He did all the drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals, songwriting, everything. The tracks on here are This Is a Call, I'll Stick Around, Big Me, Alone Plus EGZ, Target, Good Grief, Floaty, Weenie Beanie, Oh George, For All the Cows, Ecstatic, Watershed, and Exhausted. Yeah, this album is some of their best and none of their worst. I think it's just a lot of that's good, 6 out of 10 music. And it's kind of weird seeing Dave Grohl playing guitars and being the lead singer of Foo Fighters while still looking like Nirvana Dave. Without the beard and how in the late 90s and most of the 2000s he just had the short hair. And now he has long hair again, which he had in Nirvana, but he actually has the goatee now. Anyways, though, This Is a Call. Amazing song, maybe my favorite on the album still. It's just a legendary, especially with the guitar plugging in at the beginning. Great track. I'll Stick Around, I Don't Owe You Anything. And then Big Me, it's a cute little tune. Music video is amazing. Love that one. It always gets in my head. Alone Plus Easy Target and Good Grief are standouts as well. But honestly, after those first 5 songs, it goes pretty downhill for me. Because the first 3 songs especially are so darn good. And Ecstatic, I love that one too. That was actually the first song I heard off this album because it was on the Deep Cuts channel on Sirius XM. I don't know. But other than that, the rest of this album is good. But again, it's one of their most front-loaded, I'd say, just because the first few songs are so strong. But it's not like there's bad material on it. There isn't. It's a great debut. What a way to begin for my 3rd favorite musician of all time. Just found Tears for Fears, Roland Orzabal, and Paul McCartney. Those are my 3 favorite musicians of all time. Coming up next, this might be a surprise up here at number 5. 2019's Medicine at Midnight. A very short Foo Fighters album. And kind of a party album, Making a Fire. This might be controversial. Shame, I actually like it. I know it's repetitive and it's kind of stupid, but it has a cool atmosphere. Cloud Spotter's great. Love Dies Young. Waiting on a War is great too. The only track I don't really like is the title track. Lots of Foo Fighters titled tracks for their albums aren't really their best. But yeah, there's some great material on here. It's a short album. It's a party album. Kind of David Bowie influenced. I really like it. And now we enter the top 4. I have at my number 4, There's Nothing Left to Lose, released in 1999. The first 8 tracks on here are perfection. Stacked Actors is one of my favorite, maybe their heaviest song. It's up there. Learn to Fly, of course. I still absolutely love that. Aurora is great too. But yeah, first 8 tracks for me are perfection. And as I said, all but the top 3, which this is the best of their front-loaded albums. I think that's my main problem with these Foo Fighters albums that aren't in the top 3. They're all a bit front-loaded, but I still really like most of them. Except for One by One, but that is times like these, so I can't be mean to him. But yeah, it has some of their best tunes. And though there's a few songs I don't love the best in the second half, I mean, it's not really second half, it's the last fourth, but there's still also great songs in that last fourth. It's just there's maybe 1 or 2 that I don't love the most. But when you have Stacked Actors, Learn to Fly, Gimme Stitches, Aurora next year on an album, does it really matter? I don't think it does. But these top 3 albums, man, They're strong, and they are not front-loaded. So, number 3, we have the Foo Fighters album. The Color and the Shape. Yes. The Color and the Shape isn't at number 1. It's not at number 2. Deal with it. Casuals. So, I don't think it's actually the most liked Foo Fighters album. I actually would say another one is, but the songs in here are Doll, Monkey Wrench, Hey Johnny Park, My Poor Brain, Wind Up, Up in Arms, My Hero, See You, Enough Space, February Stars, Everlong, Walking After You, New Way Home, and there's always a bonus track on this one for some reason, The Color and the Shape, the title track. So yeah, smells great. I got this album recently. I used it with my Easter money, $25 gift card. As you guys saw in my CDs haul number 2. Please check it out. Please consider subscribing, guys. I love all my viewers, and I'm thankful for it. But yeah, Doll, it's just a minute interlude, but I actually really like it as a song. Same with Monkey Wrench. Hey Johnny Park and My Poor Brain are some of my favorite deep cuts by the band. And towards the middle of this album, other than My Hero, you have some really short songs. I believe almost every song in, like, the track from, like, tracks 4 to 11 are, like, under 3 minutes. It's weird, I don't know. But See You is my favorite out of them. My Hero, I like more than Everlong and Monkey Wrench. It's so good. Just that drum with, like, how they recorded 2, one in the studio, one in, like, a reverbed parking lot or something. And that guitar riff just that bass riff coming in gets me pumped for an amazing song. Everlong, I don't know if I need to hear that song again, but its music video is amazing, and I love the guitars. It's still an amazing song. Walking After You, really chill track. New Way Home, another chill one. Like, those short songs in the middle, I actually think contribute to the album. It's pretty high energy until those last 2 songs. I think it's a great album. I think it's a little overrated. And my only gripe with this album is that the singles honestly aren't any of my favorites. I would take the singles off of One by One over these. Maybe because, again, there's times like these on it. But most of their albums, I would actually take the singles over this. And as an album, it might be their best. Single-wise, not my absolute favorite. But at number 2, we have a controversial pick. One that I think is one of the greatest comeback albums of all time. Not necessarily because they came back from a bad album, but they came back from a man who has lost too many people in his life. But here we are, from last year. I know it's a bit late, it's like 10 months ago, but this album, man, is so good. And it's one of the plainest albums ever. But knowing what they were going through, kind of a cool vibe. You can see a bit of a blue there with the beach. Songs under here are Rescued, Under You, Hearing Voices, But Here We Are, The Glass, Nothing at All, Show Me How, Beyond Me, The Teacher, and Rest. On the back here, it says for Virginia and Taylor. He had already lost Kirk. Why did he have to lose more people so young? Virginia being his mom. But yeah, this album is so good. An amazing comeback album. I mean, you start out with Rescued and Under You. 2 amazing singles. 2 of my favorite singles by the band. They're just so catchy and like power pop. Power pop. They're great. And as I said, The Teacher, the lyrics just hit me so hard. What a song. The guitars and everything is perfect on The Teacher. That little break in the middle, kind of like a comeback. The Teacher is actually my second favorite Foo Fighters song, just by times like these. Rest, really pretty song. It began as not my favorite, but now I really love it. The Glass, catchy song. Always hear that one on the alternative rock radio. The only songs I'm the biggest fan of is Hearing Voices. The rest is all very amazing. It's just so evenly distributed. And honestly, with Rescued, Under You, The Glass, and The Teacher, and Rest on it, those 5 songs alone put this so high up. And it's already kind of nostalgic for me because I have some memories from the summer of buying this thing. With my own money, actually. Bought this album with my own money at Walmart. Yeah, it is so good. But I just don't think it really... It shows what Dave can do under some of the worst circumstances, but it still doesn't hold a candle to 7 Grammys. Wasting Light has 7 Grammys. Wasting Light might be in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. I'm not sure. It's my favorite Foo Fighters album. Every song on here is amazing. Every song is at least like a 7.5, maybe even 8 out of 10. Some of my favorite songs by the band, like Bridge Burning, Rope, Dear Rosemary, These Days, I Should Have Known, Walk. Oh, Chris Novoselic plays based on I Should Have Known. And I listed almost all the songs on here. They're literally all great. They're all so good, and the production here is great. They recorded this thing, I think, in like some sort of like analog thing. They recorded it in an interesting way. But man, everything is so great on here. The drums, the cowbell and rope, everything. Like Walk, one of my favorite hits by them. Honestly, all the big singles off here, along with Rope and Dear Rosemary and These Days, also my favorites by that band. And Miss the Misery isn't my absolute favorite, but it's still a very good song. I Should Have Known, as I said, one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs of all time. This whole album is so consistent, and that's why it's coming here at number 1. And has some of their best peaks and its lows are like right there because it's so good. I mean, yeah, please play at max volume. I do. Wasting Life from 2011 coming in at number 1. And yeah, this is a good, consistent album. You gotta hear this.
Thanks for watching this video. Now look at this person. And again, thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe, even though Burlick is bad. Anyways, bye.